अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to our Madhurya Kadambini classes. I hope all over India, everywhere, cold is increasing. I am seeing devotees are also started wearing sweaters and everything. So Krishna says that whether it is winter or summer, just like we anyway do our duties, we should continue doing our Krishna consciousness. I can really understand getting up early in the winters, it's a little difficult, but all of you are doing that austerity for the pleasure of Krishna, and Krishna is noting it down. Oh, in the cold winter, these devotees have caught up and hearing some classes. Oh, I should give some special blessings to these devotees. Like that, Krishna is thinking about all of you. And those who are still taking rest, Krishna as Paramatma is trying to wake them up. So Krishna is actually so loving, so caring. Last class we read about how Krishna, from the words from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, how Krishna is so merciful that he as the Chaitya Guru and also as Acharya, he takes charge of the living entity. As soon as the living entity little bit desires to know about him and he has little Shraddha to become spiritually enlivened or at least curious about spirituality. And we were discussing about the stage called Vyudha Vikalpa, and all of you said many things, and we discussed how this stage of Vyudha Vikalpa is a major deciding factor for a spiritual practitioner to go ahead in spiritual life. And that is why at this stage he needs specific guidance. Like for example, there is generic guidance and there is specific guidance. I hope every one of you understands the difference between generic guidance and specific guidance. The generic guidance says, okay, one has to chant Hare Krishna, one has to follow the four regulative principles. But on a very specific level, one faces certain difficulties in chanting Hare Krishna, or certain difficulties in following the four regulative principles, or giving up something, accepting something proper for Krishna consciousness. So, Byuda Vikalpa is a state where the person is unable to confide his specific problems to follow the generic instructions of the scriptures. The scriptures have generic instructions to follow, like chant Hare Krishna and all those things. But at this stage, he is finding it difficult, and that is why it is important that he specifically expresses his specific difficulties to the spiritual master who can guide him to go ahead in his life. So we saw that how this Byuda Vikalpa is this stage. So at the stage of Byuda Vikalpa, a person comes to know that all the miseries that I am getting in my life, everything is all because of me trying to enjoy this material world. Can anyone quote the verse from Bhagavad Gita? Let's have a little bit of the miseries. Yes, Santanu Prabhu.
यही संस्पर्श जब होगा दुख योनैवते आद्यंतवंत कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा.
So we will recite this verse, very famous verse. This is Bhagavad Gita, 5th canto, 22nd verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yahi sansparsaja bhoga.
यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा
Dukkhayonaaya evate.
दुःखयोनाय एवते
Adyantavanta kaunteya.
आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय
Nateshu ramate buddha.
न तेषु रमते बुधा.
Yes. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, so the wise man does not delight in them. Yahi sansparsaja bhoga. As soon as the living entity wants to enjoy this material world, trying to exploit this material world, at that very moment there is misery. So as soon as a person in this Byuda Vikalpa stage understands that all the miserable situations of my life, whatever I am getting, whatever problems, whatever difficulties I am getting, is all because of either in the past or in the present, I am trying to exploit this material world. As spirit soul, that is not possible. More and more I do that, more and more I exploit it, more and more I try to enjoy it without following the laws of God, laws of karma. I'm going to get more and more complicated in this complicated mess of the material world. So he comes to know, and then he wants to give it up. Right? Just like if you have joined some underworld dawn or something, some group like that, it is easy to join, but it is not that easy to come out. I hope all of you know. Yes. So you have to practically escape, and you have to run, and sometimes you're caught, and then again you are put. It's so exactly in the same way these senses and the mind, they trap the soul in such a way, as soon as the soul wants to get out, there is a war. There is a war. And this stage, post the Vyudha Vikalpa, where a person in Vyudha Vikalpa stage, the person gets intellectually convinced about the sources of misery. So please be very clear about this statement so that you understand the subtle difference between the various stages. Before Vyudha Vikalpa, where he had doubt, he was not even convinced intellectually that why these fellows are telling to live a dry life, not to smoke, drink. It's fine, little bit you can drink, little bit you can smoke, and little bit you can eat non-veg, and all those things are fine. Why these ISKCON fellows are so fanatic about all these things? So he is not even convinced intellectually. But at Vyudha Vikalpa stage, all his doubts are cleared. Intellectually, he is fully convinced about the Krishna conscious philosophy. But it is never only the intelligence, it's also the mind. So, though in Vyudha Vikalpa stage, his intelligence becomes fully convinced that he has no doubts. This is what has to be done. Human form of life is specially meant to take me back to Godhead. This is not my real home. Sense gratification is not the goal of life. These are all he gets fully convinced. But emotionally, he is weak. So intellectually he is convinced, emotionally he is weak, and that's how after intellectual conviction, if the emotionally he is still weak, the next stage comes, that is Visaya Sangar. Sangar means Sangram. It's a war. War with the mind and senses. Where just like in a war, there are bullets being fired. Santanu Bro can do the real drama. I am not that good. Tick, 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 tick. And then sometimes you are doing like this and the bullet fires like this. Sometimes you are doing like this. Sometimes the bullet hits your body and sometimes you are injured. And you get up again and see, oh, blood has come out and I will fight more again. So like this, there is a war with the mind and senses, where the mind and senses are telling, Arey, this intelligence has been supporting me from lifetime together, and now what has happened to this intelligence? Who is this Swami has come and given this knowledge to you? Let's enjoy, let's have fun in this world. And the intelligence, no, 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 no. The scriptures are telling, Bhagavad Gita is telling, no fun, no fun, no fun. The mind is telling, no, 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 let's have fun, let's have fun. So there is a war between intelligence and mind. Where intelligence is convinced, mind is not convinced, and anyone can tell why the mind is not convinced. Yes, any guesses why the mind is not convinced? Okay, Nidhi Mataji has the raise of hand. The first raise of hand. And then Santanu Prabhu. Yes.
Maybe because of Hare Krishna Prabhuji, maybe because of habit, we have been used to it over and over so many years.
Okay, so Nidhi Mataji is telling about habit because the mind is fully habituated. Okay, so that's fine. That you're telling the right thing. Only thing is that little bit of addition to it. Yes, Santanu Prabhu.
Through the impressions of sense gratification are much huge in number than spiritual. So those impressions pull, the experience of happiness in sense gratification is much greater. So it pulls in that. Samskaras are there.
Okay. Just it is 50% done. 50% done. Yes, Sabyasachi Prabhu. Let's see if he completes the other 50%.
material world is a reflection, reverse reflection of spiritual world. And mind, to be practically, mind works mostly on extreme things, and it is attracted to the negative things very faster than positive things, because of the what Shantanu Prabhu has said, material sense enjoyment. And many times we see negative things spread faster than positive things, and that is a practical way of looking at things. So the mind works on such a thing that it thinks that this material world is the reality, and spiritual world doesn't have any reality. And mind ponders over on this material world, assuming that it is the real thing and others are the not real. So mind involves itself in this material world activities.
Okay, perfect. It's almost 80% done. Just a little bit of almost done. Okay.
Actually, mind is not proper educated. But Sachi Prabhu told, yes, mind is motivated to negative work. And mind is not, in such a mind is not motivated in the positive work. Because why mind is motivated to negative work? Because mind is not proper knowledge. Yes, I will not do these things. This type of commitment will come after the proper knowledge and guide.
Okay, but the mind is never the seat of knowledge. Mind is a seat of experience. Mind doesn't get educated. It's the intelligence which gets educated. Mind gets experience. So mathematically, if we see, like what Santanu Prabhu and Sabyasachi Prabhu said, just if you combine these two, mathematically, the experience of the mind of spiritual happiness is not there, and the experience that mind gets from material happiness is much greater than what experiences the mind gets from material happiness. So when spiritual happiness experiences and signs of happiness is less, and material happiness he gets much more, so the mind is naturally attracted to the material happiness. It has not got sufficient spiritual happiness. There is some happiness of chanting, of doing some kirtans, or there is some happiness in hearing about the classes, but still the mind is still deriving most of its happiness from the material things, material enjoyment, because the mind has not become purified. It is still having the past impressions, and because of which the experience of material happiness is much greater than the experience of spiritual happiness. Or sometimes there is no experience of spiritual happiness and only there is experience of material happiness. So what we expect the mind to do? So there will be a struggle. Struggle between what? What is this sangar? This sangar is of mind and intelligence. Intelligence is convinced. Just imagine how dangerous it is. Intelligence is convinced it is wrong. Mind is not getting convinced because it's not getting spiritual happiness, it's only getting material happiness. So it's a battle. It's a battle. The battle between mind and intelligence. The convinced intelligence and not the inexperienced mind. Educated intelligence and inexperienced mind. There is battle, and that battle is called the Visaya Sangar. I hope all of you are able to understand. Like you are intellectually convinced that nay, but then you get no, it's so happy, it's so titillating, let me just have it, and no, I should not do it. So again and again he fails, again and again he gets up, again and again he is bruised, just like in war. And that is why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says it is Visaya Sangar. Visaya Sangar, the war of the convinced intelligence and not convinced mind or inexperienced mind. Educated intelligence versus inexperienced mind. Now, how to get out of this? So you are able to understand this stage happens only when Vyuda Vikalpa is done. If you imagine intelligence is only not convinced, so there is no war, correct? Intelligence is also in the side of the mind. Before to build a vikalpa, the intelligence and mind both are together only. The intelligence is only planning, let's go to this place, that place, do everything, you know. But when the intelligence gets convinced of what is right, what is wrong, but the mind is not experienced, then there is sangar, then there is war. Now, how to go ahead? What a sadhaka should do to get ahead of the stage of Visaya Sangar? Okay. Selja Mataji has raised of hands.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, to control the mind, we should chant. Purification of mind is needed. When we start chanting, then we get, slowly we develop the taste in spiritual activity, and then mind is in control of the intelligence.
We don't want the mind to control the intelligence. But you said that you have to chant, but he's not able to chant. Bichara, the mind is such a okay. There is Tarun Prabhu, then Parul Mataji, then Santana Prabhu. Yes.
Probably get more spiritual experiences.
Okay, get more spiritual experiences. That is a very easy way to look at it. But how? That the question is how to get more spiritual experiences. Yes, Parul Mataji.
Prabhu, take association of devotees who have experience.
Okay, so Parul Mataji is telling, take association of those devotees who have experiences. Okay. It's quite close. Yes, Santanu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Puji. Puji, actually, our acharyas have intelligently designed options for materialistically inclined the mind to get some happiness using spiritual ways. Like if somebody has a lot of inclination to eat, he can take prasadam. He has a lot of desire to घूमने का बहुत इच्छा है, so he can go for धाम darshan. And he has a lot of desire, मतलब he's very too much active to do something, passionate to achieve something, then he can go and speak to people, he can dress the deities. So those, especially the passion can be directed to attain spiritual happiness also. So that for the time being, one does not go to the fully negative zone of entering sinful habits.
Okay, that's a very nice point that Santanu was telling. Redirect your mental cravings to positive Krishna conscious activities. Very good. Yes, Kushal Bihari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So actually he has already opened his heart to one devotee. So devotee he has to just accept his instructions, personal instructions, and when he takes association of the one who is already relishing spirituality, so he will also by that mercy he will also get that experience because of the following of instructions.
Okay. I think all of you have gone through this. There is already in Bhagavatam we have taken an elaborate section on this actually. So yes, Madhur Kohli Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रभु आपने लास्ट क्लास में जो 4 चीजें बताई थी, pride of being Krishna servant, attentive quality, anticipation, and what was Prabhu ji?
An ambience.
Ambience, yeah. Ambience. Does it get added from you, Prabhu ji? I mean, these 2 points are, I think, joining somewhere.
No. Because that is for a very that is definitely to improve our mind's experiences. But we are discussing about for a person who is having so much of battle, how he should get spiritual experiences. Definitely, all these are all going to help him to get spiritual experiences, which we discussed in the Bhagavatam class in the morning. But how he gets the help? Yes, Sabyasachi Prabhu and Poonam Mataji, then we'll discuss. Then we'll end.
Maybe Prabhu, I will let Poonam Mataji to speak.
Okay, let Poonam Mataji speak. Poonam Mataji, please enlighten us.
Prabhuji, praying had, as per my personal experience.
Oh, very good. One big Hari Bol for Poonam Mataji. So this is bullseye answer that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, praying. But then we will also discuss many things on this regard. So all of you have heard the story of Vyasdev and Narad Muni. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji, 6th chapter.
Yes, of the Bhagavatam. The first canto, 6th chapter, speaks about Vyasdev and Narad Muni, where Narad Muni is giving a intellectual understanding to Vyasdev that glorify Krishna. Don't just speak about Vedas and then, trying to help enhance their material life. Yes? Vyasdev's main purpose of creating all the Puranas, all the Vedas and everything was use spirituality to enhance people's material life. And people want to enhance their material life, they will get attracted to spiritual life and then they will become spiritual. But problem is they were never becoming spiritual. They were remaining material only. You understanding? That was Vyasdev's technique. And Narad Muni said, no, this technique will not work. You speak directly about Krishna consciousness and then you will see it will happen. Then what Vyasdev says? Oh Narada, please share your story. Please share your challenges. So in this stage of Visaya Sangara, a person goes ahead when he hears the story of advanced devotees, how when they were at the stage of Visaya Sangar, how they improved, how they got spiritual experiences, what all strategies they applied in their life to keep their mind happy, and what strategies can be applied in his life. So he takes specific guidance, but most of his spiritual nourishment at this stage happens of hearing the mind story sessions as started by Sabyasachi Prabhu, which we didn't continue because of COVID and all that. So when one hears the mind story sessions, or just like Vyasdev is asking Narad Muni, you tell me, how did you become so spiritually enlivened? Were you like this? And then Narad Muni said, I was born as a Sudra and I was a playboy among the Gandharva ladies. I was just roaming around the Gandharva ladies and singing duet song. And Vyasdev said, oh, now you are singing only Harinam. From duet songs, how did you become only Harinam? And then Narad Muni tells his entire story about meeting and how going and in the forest and doing all those things. So it is important to know and understand and hear the story of advanced devotees, or stories of great souls, and how they became Krishna conscious by hearing different stories. Like we are in Sadhu Sangha, as we had said, that this stage of Bhajana Kriya will be always enhanced by the previous stage, that is Sadhu Sangha. So in the Visaya Sangara stage, if one takes sadhu sangha and he interacts with the devotees, that array, how do you feel so happy about in kirtan? So then the devotee will share his happiness. Oh, I feel very happy in chanting these kirtans and all. I hear kirtans of this Maharaj. Oh, this Maharaj sings so well. Oh, so then you get some kirtans of cassette recordings and you start hearing, or you do kirtan with that devotee. So by associating with devotees who have got spiritual experiences in different practices of Krishna consciousness, we also get the spiritual experiences. And also by sharing, by hearing the other devotees share how he feels happy, what makes him happy or her happy in Krishna consciousness. Some devotees can be happy taking prasadam in Krishna consciousness. Some devotees can be happy of getting such a wonderful family to stay together. Some devotees can be happy of the knowing the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Different devotees are happy in Krishna consciousness for different purpose. Yes, if I ask now all of you tell different purpose, what makes them happy in Krishna consciousness. Yes, Mona Lisa Mataji, what makes you happy in Krishna consciousness? Or you are happy or you are not happy?
I'm happy.
Yes, so what makes you happy?
Not concerned. And ये जो पर्सपेक्टिव शिफ्ट होता है ना कि हाँ ऐसे तो हमने सोचा नहीं था पहले
So this shift of the perspective.
पहले हम जीते थे for our own experience to enjoy this world. तो बाद में पता चला कि oh this is not happiness to serve. If I'm loving, the expression should be I have to serve. It's not the expecting something from the others. So that perspective changes. That way we get inspired. Our consciousness needs to be changed. We need to learn more in this path. We need to work more in this path to get that spiritual happiness.
Yeah, so what makes her happy is, oh, it's a complete different new world. Wow, I never thought that this world also exists. Hare Krishna, welcome to the new world of everyone wanting to serve. I was in the world where I just want to be served. So that is
right. And in maybe normal mundane life में जो होता है कि भगवान है ये तो था, लेकिन भगवान रिस्पॉन्ड भी करते हैं हम जब प्रे करते हैं. ये तब लगता था कि ये तो बस जो रिटन है ना बड़े बड़े सेजेस उन लोगों को होता है, not for us, not for us common people और normal जीवात्मा. लेकिन जब भक्ति में आए थे धीरे धीरे ये रियलाइजेशन होता है हमारा हर एक प्रेयर भगवान सुनते हैं and respond भी करते हैं, रिवील भी करते हैं. So when that kind of experience होता है then बाकी सब छोटा लगने लगता है कि okay बाकी experiences are much lesser than this one.
So when we understand that oh, Krishna is going to reciprocate with me, it's not just about the sages, then it makes her happy. Yes, Pavan Krishna Prabhu, what makes you happy?
So it is association of devotees. And generally, in outside association, there is a lot of politics and all. But devotee association, it is very simple. So that is.
Oh, so association of devotees and association of devotees who are very simple and that makes without any politics. Hare Krishna. Yes, anyone else would like to say what makes Krishna consciousness happy? Yes, Sabyasachi Prabhu.
So just to add, yesterday me and Santanu were discussing on this. Maybe we discussed that while coming over here we differentiate the Jadananda and Paramananda. We all are involved in the Jadananda which is related to the body, which is temporary, which is flickering, which doesn't have eternal existence. But here in Krishna consciousness we have Paramananda, which is different. Now that Mataji said, it is something different.
so the experience of spiritual happiness, little bit, it's a completely different experience than the experience of body, which is very temporary, and so satisfying to the heart. So then one gets really, I should really pursue Krishna consciousness. Yes, Udit Prabhu.
So for me, one word is the kirtans. They give me a lot of happiness. Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so Udit Prabhu just wants to do kirtan. He was having big hairs and doing all those in IIT Roorkee band, and now he wants to create a special band for Krishna. So kirtans gives happiness. Yes, Ajay Prabhu and Poonam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
It makes me happy because I'm getting the chance to attend your class, attend Bhagavatam class, attend the book reading class. That also makes me happy.
Okay, so Ajay Prabhu says that it gives me happiness that I attend Prabhuji's class, and Prabhuji is always happy so in the class, so that is why. Okay, okay, great, nice. So, and then Karan Prabhu, please tell. You are muted. Your sound is not coming. No. I think you have to remove something or again.
Going to Dham with devotees, bro.
Going to Dham with devotees. Hare Krishna. Yatras. When going to Dham with devotees, and then it gives so much of happiness, so much of happiness. You know, all devotees. Just imagine how spiritual world would be. Huh? This, we are all conditioned souls, not pure devotees. We have still not crossed the Nishtha stage. We are still in these negative things. If our heart is still troubling us, and still the association is so blissful. Correct? Just imagine how blissful would be the association of the gopis, the gopas, Narad Muni, Draupadi, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Pandavas, the Brajvasis. How wonderful it would be to go in yatra with Sivananda Sen and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's party. So it's like how wonderful would be the kirtans when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be dancing and Basudev Ghosh and Mukunda would be singing. So it would be, yes, Poonam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
I got a group of ladies where I can gossip about Krishna.
Wow, amazing. This is the most honest and revealing answer. Yes. So Mataji is telling that now I have got a group of ladies where I can really have spiritual gossip. Actually, there is Bilwa Mangal Thakur who has written a song, a verse where he says that I don't care for all the Vedic hymns. I don't care for all the tapasyas. I don't care for all the vratas. I want to spend my entire life hearing the gossip, the Gramya Katha, the gossip among the village talks of Vrindavan Dham, the gopis, the ladies of Vrindavan. Whatever gossip they are doing, I just want to do that. Hell with all the vratas, japas, and all these tapas, tapasyas. I just want to hear the gossip of the gopis. So this is I hope in our Dasosmi family, the gossip is of that caliber. So I hope that is happening. Yes, Nidhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I forget all my miseries for the portion I am, for the duration I am into, either speaking Krishna, chanting, or listening or your videos, or with devotees. I really forget all my miseries.
Okay, so it's just like there is
Ecstasy, absolute to see.
Oh, very well. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I feel very happy when I designed the temple and I could do this seva. Till date, I was making drawings, I was being paid, but I never felt, I never was very, so I never felt that happiness, what I felt when I designed for Krishna. And I felt that my purpose of becoming architect has been completed.
Haribol. Just imagine to design a temporary temple. There is so much happiness.
Yes.
When the permanent temple will come and when Mataji will be involved in design, so how much there will be happiness. So Mataji is just now expecting all the future happiness that is coming and what present happiness he has got from designing the temple. Very bold. So yes, Shreya Mataji and then Santanu Prabhu and then Selja Mataji, Sumit Prabhu, Sabyasachi Prabhu and then we'll end.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I got here association and prasad preparation. Veg prasad preparation completely, and that is when I got here, that one is completely different and it's awesome to taste. And we talk here in association. We are talking with ladies that are completely different. We never. We are never doing any PNPC about any Mataji and anything like that. And we are just talking about Krishna and many stories that I can hear.
So Mataji is telling, so here is the lady association where there is no chugli. Amazing! It is beyond the world. Wow! In Dasosmi family, the ladies are not doing any chugli about other ladies. Wow! This is spiritual world. This is spiritual happiness. And the prasadam, the cakes by Sukriti Mataji, and the prasadam, Ghevar, and then the Chena Podo by Parul Mataji, and all these various items are there. So amazing. Hare Krishna. Yes, Santanu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Puri. Puri, what gives me most happiness in Krishna consciousness is I really used to watch movies and fantasize a lot about friendship and love. But when I hear how Krishna experiences his love, like with Sridhar Kolavecha and with Kevat, so that brings me so much happiness. This is perfect lover. भगवान की अदाएं बहुत attractive हैं.
Yes. So Krishna's how he expresses his love, how he creates such a wonderful romantic setting to express his love. So that gives happiness to Santanu Prabhu. Yes, Salja Mataji.
Prabhuji, truly speaking, initially I only used to come for prasadam in the classes. You used to message in the group that special son papdi, special kheer chora, Gopinath special prasad, and I only used to come for prasadam. Later on, when it converted into intellectual and all philosophical things, and then classes and all, वो बाद में हुआ, लेकिन शुरुआत में सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्रसाद खाने की डालते थे प्रभु जी. बहुत अच्छा लगता था. और आपका कीर्तन.
So kirtans and prasadam gives happiness. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sumit Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So I feel really happy in Krishna consciousness for mainly two reasons. One is objective and direction in the life, which was actually missing in my life. So I got that after joining, and under your guidance, that is one of the biggest blessing I feel. And second point is, though Mata Pita ne mujhe bada kiya, but the actually art of living that I came to know in ISKCON also. Otherwise, that was also missing in my life.
Yeah, so
these two really I cherish too.
So what really gives him happiness is about the understanding the purpose and how and fulfillment, meaning in life, and also how to live life nicely for service of others, and that is being taught. That knowledge, that direction makes Sumit Prabhu happy. Hari Bol. Yes, Abhishek Prabhu, Sabyasachi Prabhu, Ansuman Prabhu, Ankit Prabhu. I think we will. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Before I came into contact with Krishna consciousness, before that, all the purpose in life, whatever I used to plan to do, it was based on my perception. And sometimes I used to get confused whether this is the right thing to do, not to do. The outcomes would not be favorable, then I would get disappointed. But now it feels that there is a very solid prescribed path and there is a definite purpose. And that has been told by people who are way ahead of me in this field, regularly guiding me. So that purpose is there and there is no disappointment at all. Because every time, even when I feel that I'm not able to do something well, there are other people who keep telling me, no, this is how it happens with everyone. So the disillusionment is not there.
Yeah.
So I think basic purpose is there now.
Yeah, so the purpose of the life is clear. So how, just imagine, just knowing the purpose of life can give so much of happiness, correct? That proves that we are human beings, we are not animals. This proves that human beings derive happiness only when they learn purpose. When His Holiness Niranjan Swami Maharaj was started going to Russia, where it was a communist country and there was no question of religion and everything, Niranjan Maharaj was giving a class and he was telling that when people came to know that there is God and there is a higher purpose of life, everyone in the class started crying. Just by that knowledge, they were so happy. In happiness, they were crying, oh my goodness, there is a higher purpose to life. There is God. We were not knowing that that revelation itself was so overwhelming that both men and women, everyone was crying in the class. When first time he went to Russia, to a communist country where government had restricted any amount of religious activities there. So that Maharaj speaks that this is human life. Human life, we can be happy only when we find the real purpose, and it's not like animal life. Yes, Abhishek Prabhu, thank you. Now it is Sabyasachi Prabhu.
So maybe in a later side, I'd say a few years back, I heard one verse from Udit Prabhu. I was talking to him. He told the verse of 1.2.18, which says that Nasta Prayashva Vajreshwa Nityam Bhagavata Seva. I said, Prabhu, we should read Bhagavatam. We have not started Bhagavatam that point of time. So I have not also read at that point of time. So I said, which is that by reading your Abhadra will be going out. So I was very curious. Then we went through that Ajamil story, where before you start the Ajamil story, I was reading that 6.3.29, where it is saying that Jivana Bhakti Bhagavat Nama Gunade, Kita Sanasmarati Chitrana Binda, Krishnaya Nanamati, Jetsira Kalami, Tan Anadam Asata Kruta Vishnu Krutam. That Jamaraj is saying that bring me to these people who doesn't chant the holy name of the Lord, right? So I was very happy. No, I will not go to Yamaraj this time. Maybe after reading Bhagavatam, at least that was right.
So Sabyasachi Prabhu is very happy that I will only go to Yamaraj to attend his Bhagavatam classes, not to stand in line. Yes, Ansuman Prabhu, what gives you happiness? Are you happy?
Dandavat Punam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, after coming Krishna consciousness, that definitely that get the association of devotees and the chant, kirtan, all these things actually give me the pleasure. But most important thing that I was actually satisfaction for my life is that before coming to Krishna consciousness, I had very doubt that who is God. I mean, God is exist or not. And I was thinking that maybe God does not exist. Everything is something mythology.
and why these many religions are there. So I was a little bit of searching of this thing, that what is the reason behind this, and so that questions answer that I get after coming to Krishna consciousness. That clarity comes that there is a definite, because I was thinking that what is the goal, that way that I am that living, that is there any particular goal, or like this, that it will be just I will be die on one day and it will be finished. So that clarity comes in my life. That is the great satisfaction that I get after coming to Krishna consciousness.
Hari Bol. So satisfaction comes from the clarity that God exists, where is He, where He stays, the address of the God, and so that we can send a letter to God, where He stays, what He does, what are the daily activities of God. Just imagine what type of clarity we have in Krishna consciousness. There is no ambiguity who God is, where He stays, what He does, what He likes, what He doesn't like. So there is clarity in Krishna consciousness. And also about the prasadam that Niharika Mataji cooks after becoming devotee, the special dishes she makes, paneer tikka and all those things, that also attracts Ansuman Prabhu. Yes, Ankit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, bro, all the aspects of Krishna consciousness are very pleasurable. Primarily, Kirtan and Prasadam are the best. But one thing which really inspires me and also intrigues me is that how devotees are so selfless. Means they are so happy practicing Krishna consciousness, but still, and means they have everything now in Krishna consciousness. Still, they go out and they go out after the fallen souls, like devotees. They came to me and gave me this gift of Krishna consciousness, and I'm also now very happy. But I still don't understand what means. Like they get so much pleasure in sharing this to others. So that's inspires me a lot when I see devotees going selflessly out of their way and for sharing this Krishna consciousness with others.
Very good. So Ankit Prabhu is telling what gives him the most happiness is how devotees are so selflessly trying to share the happiness. Someone in material world is so happy, he would get so engrossed in happiness that he would not even think about anything else. But devotees, they're so opposite. They are happy and they are so selflessly thinking about making others happy. They just don't get so engrossed that they really become indifferent from the world. And who cares who is happy, not happy? Like for example, if someone is happy in this world, he becomes indifferent to the world. Who cares? I am happy. But devotees are so selflessly trying to make others happy. Hari Bol. Yes, Veer Narsimha Prabhu. If you just be with Veer Narsimha Prabhu, all the miseries of material existence you will so he will smile and laugh and make you laugh. Yes. What fortune Ritu Mataji is having. Yes, I hope. Ritu Mataji is telling, yes, Prabhuji, I know. I know my fortune. Yes, Veer Narsimha Prabhu.
Bro, I will like at different stages, I experienced different things. Like in the starting when I came, then the main thing was that about the clarity, because I was not understanding what to do in life. So slowly the purpose of life got clear. And then when the purpose of life got cleared, it was somewhere at intellectual platform. But as you told, it was not possible for us to practice. Then I had a lot of friends when I was in outside world, and there was I was always used to get pulled on that side, and you know that thing. But then in Krishna consciousness, I found a lot of friends, and they all are spiritual friends. So that thing started giving me a lot of happiness. And then when I started discussing with them Krishna Katha, started reading Bhagavatam. So currently when I feel that three things,
This is my personal experience. Hearing your lectures, hearing Guru Maharaj lectures, and discussing with devotees, reading in groups, these things give me a lot of nourishment and lot of happiness. Whenever I whenever I feel any difficulty in my personal life or anything, my mind is disturbed. Out of these three things, I do one thing, and then after 1 hour, everything is settled. So this is my personal experience.
Haribo! So hearing classes from Gurudev and hearing, discussing with devotees gives a lot of happiness to Veer Narasimha Prabhu. Haribo! Yes, Vijay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, very much similar. One is association with devotees, both in yatras and book reading group. The discussions we have, very interesting time we spend every week. But more, what I like, and I think that is what is making me continue, stick, and improve, make me eagerness to improve more in bhakti is hearing Prabhu. While when I hear, and also hearing is not just okay, just hear, but those things what we hear in classes we can experience or we can see in the outside world what we do. It's not just okay, it's like a bedtime story. It's nice to hear, but we can experience these things. That gives me more happiness and eagerness to improve.
So hearing gives a lot of happiness to Vijay Prabhu. Yes. Yes, Sukruti Mataji, what gives you happiness? So today is Vijay Prabhu's birthday in US. 26th of December. It is 26th of November. So we wish Vijay Prabhu remains happy like this and makes all of us happy. Yes, Haribol. Yes, Sukriti Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. When I came to Krishna consciousness, I got experience of such selfless love from devotees, those who are not knowing me at all, but they have given me so much love, and over a period of time, I have met many such devotees. So I feel extremely happy and fortunate when I'm in association of such devotees that those can give me that much love. And now with Mataji, because I feel I'm very socially awkward between friends outside. So with Mataji, I feel very comfortable because that fear of judgment is not there. No one will be judging you. They will be supporting like like family. So I feel like I'm a part of very big family, and they love. They don't chastise. They love. And any devotee has not answered, but I love dancing. No one loves dancing, I think, in the Aswasmed family.
Oh, so all of them love dancing. This is the secret of the sweet cakes that Mataji makes. The sweet devotees she has encountered, and the happiness, and also the dancing. That is why the cakes are so sweet. It all has the dancing flavor and aroma. Yes, Prakash Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा फौजी धन्यवाद प्रणाम। फौजी भक्त का संग बहुत अच्छा लगता है, क्योंकि भक्त अगर गाली भी देता है तो बहुत प्यार से देता है। और
ओहो।
और जब भक्त का संग मतलब धीरे धीरे बढ़ता जा रहा है, तो भक्त संग से मतलब समझ आया कि हमारा जो मानव जीवन है ये कोई दूसरा पर्पस के है, बहुत ऊंचा पर्पस के है। और बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है, और मायापुर का जो राधा माधव का सामने मंगल आरती वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है, और भगवान का जो ड्रेसिंग होता है वो बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
The dresses, yes, we missed out the dresses in ISKCON, the way the Sringar happens, and it's just a mind-blowing experience. Yes, the Sringar and the Mangal Aarti, getting up. So why we are discussing all these things elaborately for almost about 20 minutes? The reason is because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this stage is a Visaya Sangar, it's a war. Now you see in a war what happens, sometimes someone gets injured and the other person is all right. And in military it is trained that if someone is injured, then you have to bring him back to the camp. It is your duty, and then you go and fight. Your first duty is to help your side party and try to cover him up. In military, there is a saying that you cover the injured soldier, bring him back to the camp, then you come back and fight. So this is how Sadhu Sangha helps. As the course of going ahead in our Krishna consciousness, in the battle, there will be definitely bruises. Battle means there will be bruises. And since we have been a surrendered servant to our mind for so many lifetimes together, we have been, fully a surrendered slave to our mental dictations for sense gratifications. And because of that momentum, there is supposed to be a lot of bruises. And it's only association of devotees, when we hear their experiences, then our mind becomes very pacified. So that is why at this stage of Visaya Sangara, what is important, that we hear the good experiences of superior Vaishnavas or maybe the friends about Krishna consciousness. That is like taking help of someone else who is now healthy and taking his help to become healthy. Just like a injured soldier takes help of a proper soldier who is fighting and who has not got any injury to come to the camp and get again dressed up to be prepared to fight again. Exactly in the same way, in this war, sometimes we'll be injured, some other person will not be injured, so we should take each other's help of sharing Krishna consciousness, and that gives happiness. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that the happiness that is present in Krishna consciousness is by sharing of Krishna. So as soon as our mind is disturbed of some things, so immediately we should find out someone with whom we can share Krishna consciousness. That will help the mind to experience happiness, Visaya Sangar, to go above the Visaya Sangar and go to the next stage. So Visaya Sangar is gross emotional difficulty. So first is intellectual conviction, and then emotional experiences are not there. So then, because of which there is gross mental fall down. There is gross fall down. Grossly he does something nonsense. Grossly he does some mistakes. Grossly he does some sinful activities which he was doing previously. But because of taking association of devotees and getting some spiritual experience, now the gross sinful activities get stopped. Gross sinful activity is not doing always, but he keeps on falling back. And now the next stage comes, that is Niyama Akshama. This is the the fifth stage in Anisthita Bhajana Kriya, that is Niyama Akshama. Niyama Akshama means he is unable to take the vows of Krishna consciousness seriously. So it is a mental war. So previously it was a gross war, now the war becomes more subtle. Now he is not getting engaged in gross sinful activities. The war is not with gross sinful activities. Now the war has from outside gone inside. Previously, he used to see something like smoking, someone is smoking, and he used to smoke a lot. Now he was getting so attracted, and now he will smoke only. He will not be able to resist. But now that gross thing has become subtle. He is getting that emotional pull and pushing and cravings of the mind, but at least he is able to resist on a gross way. But he is not able to take spiritual vows seriously because of his mind being weak for sense pleasure. So this is niyama akshama. This is Visaya Sangar. Visaya Sangar is, he is not able to resist doing gross sinful activities. He does something right and then again falls back, does something wrong. But after he has fully resisted from doing grossly the wrong activities, then comes the next stage, that is niyama akshama. Niyama akshama means he is now not doing any grossly sinful things, but in his mind, things are still moving around, hovering around, hovering around, hovering around, and because of which he is not able to keep his vows properly. He decides, oh, I have to chant, and I have to do this, I have to do that, but he fails. Akshama matlab, you understanding? Akshama? Akshama matlab? Unable, correct. Akshama means unable. Niyama akshama is, niyama means rules and regulations. He takes vows, oh, I will chant now 16 rounds, I have to follow the 4 regulative principles, I have to do this. So he is not able to chant, he is not able to come for class because his mind is still hovering around for the sense pleasures, though he has grossly stopped. So this is niyama akshama. Now to get out of the niyama akshama, he needs help of, he has to follow the vows in a group. He has to chant in a group. He has to read in a group. Like we have all our group reading, group chanting, pair chanting, all this. Why? In order to help all of you get out of niyama akshama stage. Now most of you have stopped all grossly sinful activities. I don't know what in your mind, what it is happening, but at least on a gross level, we have stopped. Now, so most of the people in the niyama akshama stage find it difficult to follow the vows. Like, find it difficult to get up in the morning and attend the class. So what do? You take the help of a devotee who gets up early and tell, Ki Mataji, please wake me up. I want to attend the class. I am akshama. I am unable to get up. Oh Mataji, please help me. I am not able to chant properly. I am akshama to chant properly. I am always sleeping in chanting. So we will chant together. Oh Prabhuji, when I am reading Bhagavatam, I feel sleepy and I am not, my mind goes here and there. So both of us will read together. So this is akshama stage. So when you are akshama, you take some help of someone who is kshama, or at least do it together. So when two akshama people come together, at least because of their sangha, they will get derived strength, and they will become helping each other. Like for example, Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a blind man and a lame man, because everyone will not be akshama in a particular field. Like someone who is not akshama in chanting should take help of someone who is akshama, not akshama in chanting. And so that by taking that help, some devotees find happiness in chanting, but they will not find happiness in hearing classes. So, and another devotee will find happiness in hearing class, not happiness in chanting. So both take help of each other, so to become kshama. So are all of you able to see how, if you want to advance in this anisthita bhajana kriya, you all have to fall back to sadhu sangha, either guru or the association of Vaishnavas. This is how you advance. From Visaya Sangara, Vyudha Vikalpa or Niyamakshama, all the stages we advance by taking help of the sadhu sangha only. Like Niyamakshama, you advance by taking help of sadhu sangha. If you are not able to get up in the morning, you take help, someone can wake you up. You are not able to chant, you chant together. You are not able to understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, you take help of those devotees who have understood. You have got some doubt, you check with devotees. So niyama akshama, you are unable to practice the vows. You are not able to do ekadasi. You find out those devotees who are doing ekadasi and get help from them, how they are able to do ekadasi. You are not able to manage and balance your work life and your spiritual life. You are going to office, Someone else is going to office and still he is able to chant Hare Krishna nicely. So you take his help, ki, Are, you are also going to office, I am also going to office, you are able to chant, I am not able to chant. You tell me why I am not able to chant. You are able to chant 16 rounds, I am not able to chant 16 rounds. You are going to office, I am going office. That means I can also do it. Why I am not able to do it? So you take help. So niyama akshama. So when we are not able to do the niyamas of Krishna consciousness, we are unable to do it, we take help of those who are able to do it. And by taking guidance, we can cross over this stage of niyama akshama. Now, the next stage is a very important stage. This is the last stage of anisthita bhajana kriya. And since it has to be elaborately discussed, this is called Taranga Rangini. The name itself is very special, right? So Taranga Rangini is a very, very important stage. It may so happen that we may get stuck in this stage of Taranga Rangini for lifetimes together and still think that I am practicing Krishna consciousness nicely. And that is why it needs an elaborate discussion. We will discuss this elaborately in next class. And we will also club this discussion with the next stage, that is Anartha Nivritti. Because both are quite similar, since it is the last stage before Anartha Nivritti. So we will discuss some things about Anartha Nivritti also, that is the fourth stage. So to just summarize where we are standing now in the book of Madhurya Kadambini, we started with how the verse that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is the Madhurya Kadambini, and we went ahead discussing about how there is bhakti is superior, is independent of everything. Bhakti is independent of purity, pre-qualification, and perfection, and bhakti attains perfection at every stage. And then we discussed about Ado Shraddha elaborately, how there is Swabhaviki Shraddha, there is Bala Utpadiki Shraddha, and then we discussed about Sadhu Sangha, and then we discussed about the Anisthita Bhajana Kriya. In that we discussed elaborately about all the stages of Anisthita Bhajana Kriya, and today we discussed about Vyudha Vikalpa, Visaya Sangara, and Niyama Akshama. And we saw that how at every stage we have to fall back to the previous stage to take the help of the previous stage to go ahead. So for Anisthita Bhajana Kriya, we take shelter of the Sadhu Sangha to go ahead. Okay, and the next class we will be discussing about the last stage of Anisthita Bhajana Kriya, that is called Taranga Rangini, and we'll also discuss about the Anartha Nivritti stage. So we will complete Anartha Nivritti and the Taranga Rangini to next class, and then we will enter Nishtha, the fifth stage of Krishna consciousness. Okay, post Nishtha will go faster, because many things will be going like Asakti, Bhava will go tangentially. Some things will be unrelatable to all of you. So like Prema will be unrelatable in quite a big, broader sense. Bhava is quite unrelatable to understand. Okay. Yes. Any questions? Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, Nidhi Mataji, then Udit Prabhu. Yes, Nidhi Mataji, what question you have?
Prabhuji, I wanted to read some portions of Madhurya Kadambini. So which book to take and from where? Because I checked in Goshala, they did not have this Madhurya Kadambini.
Okay, so I will make a PDF out of the book that is available in the Veda Ways, which I have, which all of you don't have. So then I will make a PDF out of it and I'll give all of you. Okay, so that you can refer and read, but it will be very small. The things go so faster in that book that you will understand कि अरे प्रभु जी 4 पेज का तो 5 क्लास करवा दिए. So you'll not be able to ascertain, because for example Visaya Sangara, you will find one small paragraph of 60 words only. So that is why I don't know how, because the book is only designed like that. The elaborations is based on the discussions that we are having. So I will still make the PDF and send all of you. Okay, so for all of your reference. Okay. Okay. Yes, Udit Prabhu.
You just one moment. You were referring about some book which has got 500 pages. So
that all of you will not able to understand, because there are a lot of pre-reference, post-reference from Bhagavatam and all, and if you do not know those things, if you have not read fully Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will not be able to understand only. So that will not help you at this stage. That is only for the teachers and instructors. It's not a student copy. So when you complete Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, then when you read that, you will be able to understand, because you will not be able to understand what he is speaking, what references he is giving, and how that references suits here. Okay, is that clear? So there are references from different sections of Bhagavatam. All our acharyas, the basic principles is they give references from Bhagavatam, they give references from different Puranas. But for all of us to understand those references, we still need to know those things. Like in the Visaya Sangara stage, which we will be discussing about prayers and everything next class, there is a reference to one very special verse in Bhagavatam from the 11th canto. Now, why that reference is given? How that reference will help? Just by reading that verse, you will not be able to pick up how this is related to this place and how it will help me. So that is why that book will not help much. But whatever is the basic book, I will share with all of you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Udit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, one question. You said in Madhurya Vikalpa state that intellectually that person is convinced, but emotionally he is weak. So this emotional part, is it at a mind level? That is one question. And second is, in Vishya Sangram stage, is there a feeling of regret?
Yeah. So first question is about intellectual conviction. Emotional weakness is basically from the mind. Emotion, when we talk about mind only. So this is emotional weakness because of the mind's impressions from previous sense gratifications, previous sinful activities. He has done a lot of sinful activities. That's why the mind has got those impressions and proclivities. So that is true. And Bisa Sangara, definitely there is a regret. And that is why there is a Sangram. If there is no regret, then there is no Sangram only, na? Why there is regret? Where the regret comes? The feeling of guilt comes when we are intellectually convinced. Intellectual conviction and mental weakness creates regret. You are convinced that this is wrong, and still you are not able to do it, overcome it. That's why there is regret. So there is definitely a feeling of regret and everything, and that's what the verse speaks about, which we will discuss next class. In the beginning, we will discuss this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on the verse that I was telling just now to Madhji from Bhagavatam 11th canto, and then we will go ahead further to Taranga Rangini. Okay. Yes, Sabyasachi Prabhu. You are
Krishna Prabhu. So we talk about Niyamakrama, that is, another to follow the rules. I was going through the Upadasmrita, which is written by Goswami and translated by Srila Prabhupada, Nectar of Instruction. In the verse 2, the verse says that Atyahara Prayastasya Prajalpa Niyamagraha Jana Sanghasya Javlavilansu Tantikapte vinashyati. So the word is used is niyamagraha. That is too much attachment to the rules. Here, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is talking about niyama akshama, and on the second side it is niyamagraha, which is just opposite. And mind is too much attached to the rules. Probably should I understand that my mind is too much attached to the rules and we forget the essence of the principles so much that we are fanatically following the rules and forget the principles. That can destroy the bhakti, and in that case also it has to be consulted to the spiritual master.
Yeah, correct. So the niyama agraha, which is explained in Nectar of Instruction by Rupa Goswami, our acharyas give explanation that it is of two types: niyama agraha and agraha. Agraha means too much of excessive attachment to the rules and regulations in a fanatic way, in such a way that it destroys a bhakti. And niyama agraha means there is no attachment to rules and regulations, that also destroys bhakti. So I'll give some examples how these two things happen so that it's quite clear. It is not that the niyama that is the problem. Niyama has to be there. It is the practitioner who is misunderstanding the niyama. Like for example, we'll take a simpler side. To take the simpler side, we'll first say that how the rules and regulations are not taking the rules and regulations seriously. Like someone says, okay, what is the requirement of taking commitment to chanting a holy name? Just these commitments and rules and regulations are like bandhan. Just chant whatever rounds you can. Then what will happen? Today his mind is telling that to chant 16 rounds he will chant. Tomorrow he will tell 64 rounds. Tomorrow, next day he will chant 1 round. And so mind will initially hover around in chanting different commitments. But later on the mind will shift to following and breaking the 4 regulative principles, doing sinful activities. The mind will not stay in that. So if we are not taking strongly the niyamas of Krishna consciousness, then mind will go to sinful activities. So niyama agraha, one sense, is too relaxed about principles, telling, hey, chant, sometimes chant, whenever you feel like you chant, whenever you don't feel like, don't chant. So it's very dangerous, because today mind is telling like this, tomorrow mind will tell, whenever you feel like, follow the 4 regulative principles, whenever you don't feel like, you don't follow. So then mind will take to another direction. This is a problem, one problem. Another problem is about being too attached to the rules and regulations, and as you said, forgetting the essence. Now how it exactly creates a problem. Like for example, chanting 16 rounds. So I'm so attached to the rules and regulations of chanting 16. There is some sound somewhere. I'm so attached to the chanting of 16 rounds that I consider that completing 16 rounds is the essence of life. I don't worry about improving the quality of chanting those 16 rounds. Then I get stuck, na? Sadirir bhakti vinashyati. I'm so attached to the rules and regulations that I forget that these rules and regulations have to be done in a particular quality, with a particular consciousness. I'm so attached to the rules and regulations of bhakti about following the Ekadasi Brata, I start finding faults with someone who is not following the Ekadasi Brata. Sadbir bhakti vinashyati. You are able to follow Ekadasi Brata very strictly, doing Nirjal. That is a very nice thing. Doing Nirjal Brata is very nice. But being too attached, if you start offending other Vaishnavas who is not able to do Nirjal Brata, it is better that you don't do Nirjal Brata. That will enhance your bhakti. So that Nirjal Brata will not enhance your bhakti. So these commitments require a particular consciousness. In first stage of Niyama Agraha, he is not attached to the commitments only. In the second stage of Niyama Agraha, he is so attached to the commitments that he forgets to apply the right consciousness behind the commitment, and he becomes too proud that he is able to do these commitments, and he feels he has an air of pride. And that is how, as from niyama akshama, there comes the next stage, that is taranga rangini, which is an air of pride that comes in the life of a sadhaka of following the commitments of Krishna consciousness. That is the next extreme of niyamagraha. So niyamakshama is this side, and another side of niyamagraha which Rupa Goswami says is the taranga rangini, which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will explain later on, which is also a very dangerous aspect of bhakti. So this niyamakshama and taranga rangini is also niyamagraha combined together by Rupa Goswami in one word. So Rupa Goswami is expert in combinations. He uses agraha and agraha. So combined in the nectar of instruction with these two stages of niyama akshama and taranga rangini. So that is what is explained in this verse. We will discuss about taranga rangini. What is the problem? How problem comes when we are too attached to the commitments without having the right consciousness, and how to develop that consciousness. What is that consciousness? So we will discuss elaborately. That will almost take about 1 hour. Rather, even we may see that whether it will get completed in 1 hour, because it's very, very important aspect, taranga rangini phase in our Krishna consciousness. So we will discuss that more elaborately next class. Okay. Okay, Hari Bol. Yes, Selja Mataji and Mona Lisa Mataji. You are muted. You have to unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, one doubt is there, like what happens in the early stage now, we start chanting and we start avoiding whatever is necessary, whatever is good for our bhakti. And then also sometimes like our mind says like ये सब क्या है, 2 घंटा 4 घंटा 5 घंटे दिन का चला जाता है पूरा इसमें, मतलब all of the time is going here only, और कोई time नहीं, means even if we are very sincere practicing very nicely, then also our mind pulls sometimes, and then we have to take association, like we have to, मुझे आपको बोलना पड़ता है जो भी. So what is this, Prabhuji? Like whenever there is some disturbance, then our mind gives this. What is this? Whenever there is a disturbance in material life, then our mind pulls.
Yeah. So can you put in mute?
Yes.
So so this stage is because our mind has not got full experiences of spiritual test. And because the mind has not got full experience of spiritual test, so that is why whenever any material, the experience of Krishna consciousness is of a material enhancer. Krishna consciousness is good if my material life is good. Krishna consciousness is useless if my material life is not proper. So that understanding we have to give up. Krishna consciousness is beyond my material life. It is my spiritual life. Material life is because of my karma, which I have accrued, which I have accumulated over my ages together. Now, Krishna consciousness is an experience which is going to liberate me from this material world. Now, if Krishna wants me to experience my karma, he will let me sanction all those karmas, and I'm going to experience my good karma, bad karma. But if Krishna wants that these my good karma and bad karma are not good for my spiritual life, then he will extinguish this good and bad karma. So one has to be convinced that now that I have taken full shelter of Krishna, surrender to Krishna, Krishna is in charge of my karmas. And if this misery has come, this miserable situation has come, that means this is good for my spiritual life. It will help me to go ahead in my spiritual life. Let me take spiritual association and experience happiness. This is how we should see that. The second thing is...
Prabhuji, what happens, it's like, it's only intellectual, like every time to be in this state.
So it is intellectual, definitely. That's what I'm telling, the next part of the answer. It is intellectual, but we have to understand that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that spiritual happiness can only be experienced together. We should not think that only when we are disturbed on a material level or mind is disturbed, then spiritual association is important to give me happiness, then I'll practice Krishna consciousness alone. Krishna consciousness has to be always practiced together, whether I am disturbed or not. So if I am not taking association of devotees or doing Krishna consciousness together with devotees, when I am in the right phase of my mind, I will not improve. I only take association of Guru when I am in the wrong phase of my mind. But if you see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is going to meet Iswarapuri, he is clearly speaking about his mental happiness in Krishna consciousness. How he is finding Krishna consciousness so nice. So generally we go to the Guru and go to the Vaishnavas only when our mind gets disturbed, and we think that Krishna consciousness has to be practiced alone. When you get disturbed, you take sadhu sangha. Guru is a emotional dustbin, and you put your emotional negativities whenever you get it, you put it in the dustbin of the Guru, and then, oh, nice, I have just... But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it comes that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to Prakashananda Saraswati and said, Prakashananda Saraswati is asking Lord Chaitanya that, Arey, you are dancing like a madman, what happened? You are initiated in our Mayavad Sampradaya, where we study Vedanta very nicely, we intellectually just study, and you are jumping, dancing like a lady. You have become like a lady. This is not good. A sannyasi should not behave like a sentimental lady and crying, dancing, jumping. What nonsense you are doing? Is this a work of a sannyasi? Like this, Prakashananda Saraswati, being concerned for Lord Chaitanya, spoke. And Lord Chaitanya said, oh, my spiritual master gave me a mantra. And when I started chanting the mantra, I became like this. And when I became like this, then I went to my spiritual master and said, Kiva mantra dila gosai, kiva tara bol, japite mantra karila pagal. Oh my gosai, oh my spiritual master, what mantra you gave me? This mantra is making me mad. I am crying, I am jumping, I am dancing. What is happening to me? I am not able to understand. And there in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions that this is the relationship with the spiritual master. It's not that we relate with the spiritual master only when there is spiritual difficulties. We relate with the spiritual master when we get spiritual realizations also. So when we do not interact with devotees and spiritual master, when we have got spiritual realization, spiritual happiness, when we do not share, we just think that spiritual life has to be performed together. Only when I require the association, when I require some help in spiritual life. So when I have that mood, then it is a very, very selfish mood to take association, right? You are able to understand how selfish it is. But association is about selfless. If I have got something, if I get some realization, if I got some understanding, I read something which I found so nice, I became happy, let me share it with devotees, let me share it with my spiritual master. I read this, I was feeling so nice, Prabhuji. Mataji, I was feeling so nice, I was like jumping, oh, this is such a nice thing. So when we start sharing even our joys and realizations with devotees and Guru, then we will see, we'll experience eternal joy in Krishna consciousness. Right now, our joy in Krishna consciousness is very temporary, very flickering, because we are trying to practice Krishna consciousness alone, read alone, And whenever face difficulty, go to devotees. Why to disturb devotees? Why to disturb the spiritual master always? This is the mind, how it cheats us. Lord Chaitanya never said, ki, oh, why to disturb Iswarapuri when I am feeling happy? Only disturb Iswarapuri when I am sad. So Guru is not a mental dustbin. Guru is a bouquet. It's an emotional bouquet of our life, where whatever decorations we get, we share. Whatever problems we get, we share. But if we make Guru and the association, Sadhu Sangha, the Guru Sangha or Sangha of the devotees as just a thing that whenever I am facing some difficulty, I will take to devotees, then we will not be able to experience permanent happiness in Krishna consciousness. That will be flickering, and then mind will cheat us speaking out all these things. So we need to understand that Krishna consciousness means together. Vrindavan means together. Together means both in joys and sorrows. It will never happen. This is an impersonalistic idea of practice of Krishna consciousness, that I will practice together, I will practice alone, I will read alone, I will chant alone. Krishna consciousness means doing activities together. And find out someone. We have to find out someone to chant together. We have to find out someone. If you read something yourself, find out someone. I need to share this with some devotees. It's so nice. I read this from Srila Prabhupada's book. You understanding? So if more and more we do things like this when we are in the good phases of our mind, then we will be able to overcome this stage when in bad phase our mind gives all these proposals. So whatever you are reading, we are hearing and everything, we should have a habit, develop a habit of sharing. This is a selfless activity which will help us to take association in a selfless way. Because association also, Guru's association, we take in a very selfish way. So that we have to become selfless. Okay, we get some realizations, we share with other devotees, we have our friends, we have other Matajis, we share. And more we do that, we will see that our mind becomes very calm, very peaceful. It becomes very happy. Okay. Bodhayantaha paraspara tusyanti cha ramanti cha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Mona Lisa Mataji ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, it's not a doubt. Actually, I missed to mention about two most important pillars of my happiness. One is my devotee association. One is your guidance, Prabhuji. The step by step, you are guiding us for our spiritual elevation. So I find very fortunate myself that I got you and the devotee association in my life.
Yes, I also thank Krishna that I got you. And so both of us will go back to spiritual world. Yes, provided you continue journey with me. Just don't get down. Just don't get down. So if you don't get down, then we'll find both of us in spiritual world. I'll be cutting sabjis and you can clean them. And if I make a mistake, then you try to cover it up and help it. And if you make a mistake, I'll cover it up, and both will get some chastisement from Lalita Devi. The goal of spiritual perfection is to get some chastisement from Lalita Devi while rendering some service to Srimati Radharani, or meeting Sri Lalita Devi. Is the goal of all spiritual perfection. How many of you want to meet Srimati Lalita Devi? So we all want to meet Lalita Devi. I whether to meet Radharani or not, but really want to meet Lalita Devi and Brinde Devi. Just imagine meeting Brinde Devi. What a great fortune meeting Brinde Devi, and all the parrots are just chirping around Brinde Devi, and you are falling at the feet of Brinda Devi and crying, "Oh Brinda Devi, thank you for allowing me to stay in Vrindavan Dham, Hari Bol." And then Brinda Devi takes us to Lalita Devi and says that this new living entity has come. This living entity has a lot of history. And then Lalita Devi says, "No history now. Now he is a fully surrendered soul." So Lalita Devi and all, Visakha, we just are hearing now the stories. Just imagine meeting them on reality. The Ashta Sakhis and the Champaklata Sakhi, the sweets that the Champaklata Sakhi makes. Amazing aroma of the sweets that are prepared by Champaklata. The Tambula, the pan made by Visakha, and the humor. What is humor of this world? Visakha Devi is expert in making the entire scene humor, as Santanu Prabhu says, mahol banana. So Visakha Devi's expertise to make the situation so light, so nice, giving some humor, some jokes, some hair and all, and everyone is just catching their stomach and just laughing and making some sarcastic remarks about Krishna, and all the gopis are just wow. Nice. And then there is Nandimukhi, who is expert in being here also and there also. She's there both. She's sometimes on the side of the Gopas and side of Krishna sometimes. And all the gopis have always doubt, this Nandimukhi, where you are? Tell us, which is your group? And Nandimukhi say, I am always in Radharani's side. Always I am in Radharani's side. And then she will, in such a way, this is called transcendental politics. You know, Poonam Mataji, Pavan Krishna Prabhu was telling about politics. I think he is not aware of the politics in spiritual world. Nandimukhi is behaving like I am there in the Radharani side, and then she is fully in Krishna's side. And like Subal is there in Krishna's side, but he is fully in the gopis' side. Subal is the transcendental mediator between the gopas and the gopis, and different. All the gopis have such different consciousness, completely different consciousness, mindset. Their services are different, and their kunjas are different. The color of their kunja is different, and the flowers they love is different. So spiritual personalities are personalities. They have their likings, they have their dislikings. And just imagine the fight between the gopis, the Radharani and Chandravali. Recently I was reading a book by Devamrit Maharaj, and I would definitely like to share this. So Devamrit Maharaj was speaking about, I was very happy to hear about this, that how is that the gopis are so jealous and envious of each other, fighting amongst, and how this can be spiritual, and how we say that the gopis only give pleasure to Krishna. How can the fight between Radharani and Chandravali, Rukmini and Satyabhama give pleasure to Krishna? So Devamrit Maharaj writes in the book that imagine you are a man and two ladies are fighting for you. Just imagine how much, those who are men, they can really understand. Imagine two ladies are quarreling. No, he's my man. And the other lady is saying, he's my man. And just imagine as a man, if you are really a man, Maharaj says in the book, if you are really a man, you can understand what I am speaking. Just imagine the amount of masculine, egoistic pleasure that you can derive when you see two ladies fighting to get you, to get your association. There is no end of it. Yes, how many of you men agree with it? Please raise hands. Yeah, so it's like two ladies. Wow, two ladies are fighting through. I'm so special. And just imagine, crores and crores of ladies are put into two groups and fighting for Krishna. How much? So this is the pleasure that the gopis want to give to Krishna by fighting among themselves. Oh Krishna, you are so special that we just want to fight to get you. Can you imagine what a consciousness of the gopis is? How envy can be used, how jealousy can be used in service of Krishna. So, and just imagine putting yourself in one of the group. So I don't know which group you will be. If you go to the other group, no problem, then I'll fight with you. If you be in my group, then we will be friends. But now we are friends because you are in my group. But if you join the other group, then the amount of fighting I can do with you, you will really think that, oh my goodness, Prabhuji was not like this in material world. So in this way, so we can see that how such a wonderful life is awaiting us in spiritual world. How such a wonderful life, the door to such a wonderful life, Gurudev has opened for all of us. And more we are grateful for this gift that we have been offered so mercifully by the Guru Parampara, by Srila Prabhupada, by all of our Acharyas, by Rupa Manjari, who is the most dear assistant of Lalita Devi, who is the Acharya of our Sampradaya. Then we become so grateful and we practice so intensely that, oh, I need to go to spiritual world. I need to witness the quarrels in front of my eyes. Wonderful quarrels. Just reading the stories about the quarrels is so nourishing. I'm like jumping and reading the stories here. So what, imagine, how sensational is a quarrel? Imagine there is a quarrel on the roadside. You have seen? Actually, love is not that sensational. But when there is a quarrel, it is more sensational than love. You have seen that? Oh, everyone is looking and taking photographs and this is aaj ki taja khabar and this and this. Like I remembered one boy and girl was fighting many years before when I was coming back to Gosala after giving a program in Newtown in NBCC. I was in a bus and I saw two boy and girl fighting on the street, catching the hairs, and I was thinking, my goodness, I'm so relieved. I'm so fortunate that I never had a girlfriend and never got married. This is how it is. And I was thinking like this, the way, and all people had got assembled in the circle and they were seeing all the fun, how the boy and girl on the street, they're fighting and speaking vulgar words, and I was sitting in the bus and looking, and bus people are also looking, and everyone. And meanwhile, this lady was trying to pull down the boy from escaping, and then finally the boy put the bike and then he left, and the lady was shouting and trying to throw stones and whatever it is, But it was such a sensational experience to me that I remember it in very, very strong way. So just imagine, and this is between a boy and a girl in this material world. Just imagine fights between Radha Krishna, fights between the gopis. Radharani would sometimes take a stick where is this Chandravali, and take a stick and go in a chariot to hit the other gopis. And so in this way, it's really a fun we are missing here, sitting in this material world and doing all nonsense here. Okay, Hare Krishna. So yes,
एक चीज और पूछना था इस
yes.
मैटर पे कि अगर हिटिंग मिल गया चंद्रावली को, what चंद्रावली would have been?
So sorry.
राधा रानी स्टिक लेके घूमते हैं किधर है चंद्रावली, तो चंद्रावली को अगर मिल गया बीटिंग, what she do?
Radharani will not beat Chandravali because it's just to create that fun. Because Krishna will come and surrender to Radharani in such a way that, oh Radharani, oh nahi. Krishna will tell, I will never do it like this, Radhe, I'll never do it. Radharani will say, oh, you'll never do it. And Lalita will say, no, he will do it again, Radharani will say, no, he's telling, he will not do it again. Lalita will say, no, Radhe, you are mistaken, he will do it again. And then Lalita Devi will use such words for Krishna, which is beyond hearing for all of us. This boy is like this. He's a loafer number one. It's a very nice small word, but Lalita Devi will say very, very strong words. You don't know this boy. He's a lumpat number one. He will do like this. And then, no. He's telling like this is a good boy. Let's get him back to our territory. So in this way, there are so wonderful fights within the gopis and the gopas. The gopas will shout at Krishna, Hare Krishna, that demon that you killed, it's all because of the power of Madhumangal. Madhumangal is the Brahmana who chants the mantra, and with the mantra, the demon get automatically killed, and you just put the hand like this. And you still claim that you have killed the demons? Huh? And whenever laddus come and you fight that Madhumangal with Madhumangal for the laddus, Madhumangal should get the laddus, and Madhumangal is feeling so nice. Oh, now the Gopas have understood my strength, that it is by my strength that demons are getting killed in Vrindavan Dham. It's not because of Krishna and all. So in this way, the Gopas will criticize Krishna. Practically in Vrindavan Dham, no one glorifies Krishna. They only glorify Krishna through criticism. So, and that is why we have to first glorify Krishna through appreciation in order to understand the higher dimensions of glorifying Krishna through criticism. So we cannot directly jump to Vrindavan Ras. We need to first glorify Krishna. We do not glorify Krishna, we criticize Krishna. Then how will we understand how to glorify Krishna through criticisms? So we have to learn the art of first glorifying Krishna through appreciation. And that's what we are learning now. And if we are fortunate, Guru Vargas are merciful to us, then we will be blessed with residence in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Okay, Hare Krishna. So let us, all the spiritual masters, everyone, the entire entourage of Sri Vrindavan Dham, it has come to invite all of us to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Okay, I hope all of you will join and not leave the journey in between. So let's see how many continue on Hare Krishna on the train to Sri Golok Vrindavan. Okay, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Madhurya Kadambini ki jai, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.